We stopped right here. Now, to be fair, there are other answers I would accept here, of course, right? But to find them, that's where we got stuck. The red line was Alaric, and the green line was Carlinda. Now, for Alaric, you can see I went from 10 up to 40, which is 30 meters, and it took me 2 minutes. So I went 30 meters in 2 minutes. If you wrote that, you can still have full credit. But of course, that's not how we measure rates, is it? I don't say I drove to school at 120 kilometers per 2 hours, do I? Rates are always over 1. So that's how I got to 15 meters per minute, because I divided that by 2 and I divided that by 2. Okay? Some of you may have meters per second. Some of you may have meters per hour. I don't care. As long as you have it, something that makes sense. Now, does anybody have something other than one of these two? No? So I don't need to explain it anymore? All right. And then the green one, of course, is the exact same thing. For the green one, she went up 15 meters. 30 meters from 30 to 60, but it took her 3 minutes. So she went 30 meters in 3 minutes, which I would also accept as an answer on the review. Would I give you full marks for it on a test? No, I'd take a half mark away for that because we don't measure speeds that way. Right? But you get one for both of it, so a half mark each. Everybody cool? All right. When were the balloons at the same height? Well, you would find where they were right there, and you would see they are both at 70 meters at 4 minutes. 4 minutes, not mims, 4 minutes, and the height was 70 meters for 1 mark. Everybody good? Everybody understands why? No one's going to ask their X? Nothing? Everybody understands why? No one's going to ask their X? X and Y? I know I already made that joke. Good jokes get made all the time. That's why they're good jokes. What's the graph represent? No. It's a flight from Toronto to Rome. Just like it says it is. Now, Derek, flight from TO to Rome. Derek, what if this wasn't distance and I said it was, and this wasn't there, and I said this was height? Then would it represent the plane landing? Yes, because as time went on, its height would lower. Okay? So that was 1 mark there. What are the domain and range? This is tricky. Where does domain live? On the x-axis. So I go to the lowest x value. What is it? 0. And then I go up to the highest x value. What is it? 9. 0 less than or equal to. Now what goes here? Time. Is there anything else I could accept there? I could accept hours. Time is better. Less than or equal to what? 9. Is there another way I can write that? What is it? Square bracket, 0, comma 9. I will accept either one for 1 mark. What is the range? 0, less than or equal to? Distance is the best answer. What else will I accept? Kilometers, less than or equal to? 7,200. Or 0, 7,200 for 1 mark. Any questions? Good. Where do I go to solve C? The x or the y-axis? The y-axis. I go up to 3,900. I go across, and then I drop down. What is the closest hour? 4 for 1 mark. Making that out of 4. 4 and 3 is 7 on that page. And 8 is 15. And 3 is 18. And 4 is 22. And 4 more is 26. And 6 more is 32. And 3 more is 35. Now, once again, I'm going to do something that I always make fun of people for doing. I'm going to, again, say, write this on your test on Thursday. None of you will, and I will be guilty of behaving like an insane person, because one of the definitions that people give of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again with a different expectation of results. I'm going to try again. Yeah? Yeah. Now, I'm going to hand out your quiz. We're going to mark it. Then, I'm going to ask you for the grades that you owe me from the last unit. Okay? Okay. This quiz is a quiz that is yours to keep. Everybody's ears are different heights.
No, my ears are perfect.
No, they're not.
Perfect. I measured them. I put a
Every ear.
I put a level.
Everybody's ears
What is
are
my
different heights.
California
We are not symmetrical.
I promise I was
Number one. What is it? Sit down. Don't leave. What is a 1? Why? B matches. Josh went 8, Coco went 5, Tony was 4, Shady was 11, Jody was 7.
X and Y. Because shit, the names are all similar Y-based numbers.
No. I know that's the answer is A. Your explanation is wrong. What is the proper definition?
Oh, the names are FX and...
Getting warmer.
Oh, no.
Getting warmer. The names are the independent variable. Because the distance jogged depends on the kid to whom you are speaking. X and Y is not the way to say it, because if I turn this graph sideways and I had Josh 8, it would still be Josh, 8, because Josh is the independent variable. All right? Two. What's the answer? C. Why? Because Sharon is the independent variable, has a height of 188. 3. It is indeed A. Once again, because Toronto, the year of entry into the NHL depends on the city to whom you are speaking. Of which, not whom. Cities aren't people. And 4 always causes some trouble. It is A. Why? Jacob. Because when 2 is input, I get both 5 and -1. That's not okay. If I were to graph it, there would be a dot at 2 for X, and there would be one at -1 and +5, and a straight line would hit them both. Would this be all right? Yeah, it's 3 of the same dot. Would it be all right? Okay, would this be all right? Would that one be all right? Yes. Why? The X's are all different. Every input gave me an output, and none of those inputs gave me 2 outputs. They all gave me 1 output.
So it doesn't matter if the Y has the same number, but it matters if the X.
The X is the problem. What if I gave you this? 2, 5, 2, 6, 2, 7, 2, 8. Is that a function? No. Why? Because 2 gave me 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. The input of 2 gave me 4 outputs. If it's a function, your input gives you 1 output and 1 output only. 5. C. 6. B. 7. C. Now, listen to me closely. Oh, wait, we're not there yet. Sorry. 8. D. 9. D. All right, now, I'm going to allow you to look at this graph again, and I'm going to help you out by telling you there are 6 errors. So if you don't have 6 things written here, you're missing something. If you got more than 6 things written there, you're either way smarter than me, or you've got stuff that isn't an error. Have a look. Decide before we go on. Because it's going to be out of 6 things, because there's 6 errors.
Is there a chance to correct yourself?
I'm allowing you time to look at it right now. On your test, will I say there are 6 errors? No. Will I make it out of 6? No, because that would make you think there were 6 errors. I would probably make it out of 4 because that's exceed expectations, meets expectations, approaches expectations, and doesn't know a damn thing. But not really, because of course 0 isn't allowed.
We're still not allowed 0 in high school.
It's not on the chart. So I want to ask you guys those tricky questions like 7 plus -3. You all sit there not saying a word. I can't give you 0, even though you apparently do not know how to add 7 and -3. I know it's 4.
I'm joking, by the way. Is that
Uh-huh. Who would like to offer me the first error that of which they have found? Because they are not in any order, yes? As long as you find all 6 errors, I do not care the order which you seek. Jacob, what is one of your errors?
In the first 20 minutes, it says she only walked, or she walked 1.5 kilometers, and the thing it says she walked 1.
So, the very first error, she says 1 kilometer in 20 minutes. We can see that she walked 0 to 20, but she only walked 0.75 of a kilometer. So the first error is there. Either one of 2 things. The first point is wrong. It should be up there, shouldn't it? Right? So, well, the error is that should be up there. 20 minutes, because if that's up there, then she does 1 kilometer in 20 minutes. So error 1, 0, 3.25 is not a point on the graph. What is the point on the graph? 0, 3.5. That's the right point. So that's 1 error. Excellent. Would anybody like to give me a second error? Javon. Time doesn't stop. For what? Where do you mean that? Right here. She does not teleport home. So there is a second error. Time can't stop. Therefore, no vertical lines. Excellent. Can anybody find me a third error? Jovan.
It doesn't show a 5-minute break.
There is no 5-minute break. That 5-minute break should occur at what time? She walked for 20, stopped for 10, we're at 30, walked for 15 more, that's 45. So from 45 to 50 minutes, what should there be on this graph from 45 to 50? There should be a flat line here, somewhere between 45 and 50. Nice job. Is there a fourth? Jacob.
After her break that she took, it says she walked 15 minutes, but she walked 35.
So after the first break, talk for 10 minutes, continues walking for 15 minutes. So here's the first break. 5, 10, 15 minutes. That's where the break should start, right? So that's okay, because we already talked about the break being not there. Is that what you were saying?
No. I meant that like she walked for a total of 30, and it doesn't say that anywhere, but I guess it kind of does. With like the 15 and the 15.
Okay.
Because the break never happened.
Okay, that's cool. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. So she went from her first break, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, right? So that's, right? But that's folded in with the no 5-minute break, right? Because if I had that 5-minute break, she'd be at the right time. Does anybody see another one? We're at 4 or 3. Gagan. After the walking the same pace, shot the rest of the way home. 5-minute break. Stops 5 minutes to rest. Then she starts walking again. Oh, right. Well, yeah, that's the vertical line, right? She jogs home. This line can't be, this line has to be on an angle, right? But it has to be steep. So we talked about that one already. I'm not putting you down, of course. You're right. It's just a different wording of what we already have. Hayden? After she finishes talking to her friend for this 10 minutes, what? I lost you after that. Okay, so this part went down 1, 2, 3, and over 1, 2, 3, 4, right? There's the break. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. She's okay to there, but then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This is sped up, isn't it? And it's supposed to be the same pace, right? So, I should have used a different color because I've already used red. Sorry. Please forgive me. Please, I beg of you. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's okay. That's the same pace. But then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's wrong. Oh, I'd already started it in pink. What an idiot. 4. Pace quickened when it shouldn't have. Should not have. That part right there, right? Okay, nice. I'm going back to pink. Anybody got a 5th? Haram. Pardon me? Yeah. When she's walking, which part? Red, green, which part? After 1 kilometer, what should have happened? She should have 20 minutes. And she only walked for 5, 10, 15. 1 kilometer in 20 minutes. So we have that mistake already. Stops, talk to a friend for 10. Continues walking at the same pace. Covered that. 15 minutes. So here, 1, 2, 3, 4. This part, we already talked about that break. There should be a 5-minute break right here. Yes. And then this should continue. Starts walking same pace after 15 minutes. So here, 1, 2, 3, right? This part right here in pink should be slid over. But we already got our break. Well, no, we don't. That's cool. Yep. So this part right here, we've already talked about how the pace quickened. Jog the rest of the way home. We've talked about that. There's 2 more things wrong with this. Nobody? Look closely. I'm going to shut this off because you guys spend time looking at this when you should be looking at your work. It's out of 14. Now, listen up. I want to talk about a couple of things before we move on. One, I don't remember. Did we talk about page 175, which was assigned by the TOC? Did anybody want to ask anything about 175? You have the answers, so just check.
I don't think she assigned that. Because both days she was like, there's one.
Yeah, well, she's not seen this before. You people have. It's the 175th page of the book. At the end of the lecture, there's work, right? You're going to tell me that this is a surprise to you when I put textbook work? Indigo, I hear what she said, right? I understand that she said there was no work. But she is new to here. Is this work? Has there always been work after lessons? So what should you have believed? The person that's been here for 1 lesson or the person that's you people who've been here for 80? So if nobody did this, then you all got something to work on right now, right? So here's what I'm going to do. Since nobody did that, you can work on that, but I'm going to ask you to do one more thing. On page 181, you will see something that I have never done for any other unit. I have an actual checklist of things you need to do. Because up until now, pretty much every unit has been 1 or 2 concepts, yes? Trig seemed complicated, but really it was SOHCAHTOA, wasn't it? Surface area seemed complicated, but really it was 3 formulas, right? Factoring seemed complicated, but really it was reverse of expansion, which is multiplying. So now we're at this point. Why am I doing this here? Because no matter what you choose to do next year, whatever math course you take, this unit features very prominently in it. Okay? This unit is super important to all 3 grade 11 math courses. All 3. It's the first unit we've done that is featured prominently in all 3. So I am taking extra time with it. Also, you will notice the very next unit is graphing linear equations. What did this unit cover? Graphing all relations, right? Writing equations. Systems. The first page of systems, look at what it is. Graphing. Your next 3 units are all based on graphing. This unit is important. So, today you are going to do page 175, a bunch of it. You are also going to do this checklist. All right? Read it, decide. It says on the bottom what to do. Write a 1, 2, or a 3. If you have a 1 or a 2, figure it out. How do you figure it out? Walk around, find somebody that wrote a 3 where you wrote a 1 or a 2. Because I've explained it to you to the best of my ability. Okay? If you're still at a 1 or a 2 now, then you've missed it from me, and the person beside you who has a 3 got it from me. Maybe they can paraphrase it better for you. Okay? That is step 2. You're going to fill in this checklist. All right? Tomorrow, we will talk about page 175. We will talk about this checklist. and we will do the first lesson of our next unit, which is very, very helpful for your test on Friday. Everybody understand? I mean, Thursday. Thank you.
I thought it was Wednesday because we didn't care if it was your
I was going to do it Wednesday, but like I said, after marking the review yesterday with you guys, I'm not as confident as I once was. So I'm waiting an extra day. And Thursday is another short day anyway. I'm going to shorten the test so it fits better into an hour. Some of you will still tell me you need more time, but I will still tell you that it's because you don't know what you're doing. Okay?
So,
Go ahead.
no, I was just going to ask for like the schedule.
Okay. Everybody good? So everybody's got something to do? Karen. I'm going to take the marks out of 24 for domain and range right now. If you hear me say your name, you say a number. The number that is you got out of 24. If I don't say your name, then you followed instructions and wrote it on your test like you were supposed to.
Okay,
I don't know what page they were, 160 and 161 or something, the domain and range stuff.